Hi, I'm Frankie Frank's big sister. I'm quite a bit older than him, 14 years. He's asked me to do a short video for his website about what it was like for me because I've been such a big part of his recovery this time. So just to give you a little bit of background, our mum died when he was a little boy. And long story short, he came to live with me. And it was fine, but after a few years he went back to our father, and that was a bit of a disaster. Now, little did I know he'd already started taking drugs at that point. I've only found that out, in the last few years. I didn't know that, so I guess that was where it all started. You question yourself. Was it me? Did I do something wrong? Was I too strict? Wasn't I strict enough? Wasn't I affectionate enough? Was I too affectionate? Was it this? Was it that? You kind of blame yourself. You wonder, what if, what if, what if? But I've come to the conclusion, actually, if someone's going to do this, they're going to do it regardless of what anybody else says or does. Anyway, I helped him get into a rehab clinic way back when, many, many years ago. And that was the start of him getting clean back then. It didn't happen straight away, but it was the start. And then he was clean for quite a few years, as you've probably know from his website. And that was great. And he got on with his life and I got on with mine. And then he relapsed. And I found out from his partner. And it went from bad to worse. And I would speak to him and on the telephone, because by now I'm not even living in England. And every word he said was a lie, and it got worse and worse and worse. And that was if you could get hold of him. He wouldn't answer his phone. If he did, he was always in a rush. I thought that was to avoid me, and I think some of it was, but I think also he was just on that incessant hamster wheel. He didn't get time to have relationships because he was too busy scoring, scoring or getting the money to score. And of course, that is not a legitimate way to get the money. So of course he's looking for opportunities all the time. He's paranoid, he's running from the police, he's hiding from the police. I mean, it's a horrible, horrible way to live. And I paid for him to go into a detox clinic and rehab last year. It was all the money I had, but I love him. I never gave up on him. I guess that's the message of what I want to say, really, is not to give up and to keep loving them. So anyway, he went into there, he got clean, but he relapsed very quickly when he came out because he was unsupported, really. He went into, like a homeless hostel type place with other users, and he only managed a few days, although we didn't know that straight away. It took a couple of weeks. So then it went from, he lost all the ground that he'd made. He started to lose weight again, he got sick again. He's had lots of hospital admissions over this last year and a half for drug-related things. So we've always been scared. My biggest fear has been him either getting killed by a drug dealer, somebody he's ripped off, perhaps, overdosing accidentally, which is a really big problem with addiction, or dying of some indirect related illness, because he was stabbed. He did have a DVT, deep vein thrombosis in his leg, which could have killed him. He had very serious septicemia from a knee injury, which happened when he was cycling away from a crime. And that's what I mean about it's all related to his drugs. And I was desperate. I was really, really desperate. I knew my brother was dying. It was really a difficult time. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't sleep. I knew I had to do something. I wanted him to come to Sweden. I didn't have money to pay for a rehab again. I told him if he got clean, then he could come to me to kind of rehab, but he couldn't get his act together to get clean. There was no way he could do that. He also hadn't got a passport. So I managed to get a long-time family friend to handhold him through the passport process and actually take him to get his photographs done, fill in the form and get him to sign it, post it off for him, take him to the interview, etc., etc. And actually in the end, a passport came and I bought tickets for him, and he came. He came to Sweden, and that was in the middle of January 2018. So I think that's about 11 weeks, 12 weeks from where we are today. And he leaves here tomorrow morning, and he's going back to the UK. He's going back a clean man. He's got hope in his heart. He's excited about life. He's got a lot of obstacles in front of him. You know, he's got issues with the police that are still hanging over him he has to resolve. He's going to be staying with another of our brothers, but of course he's going to want his own place. He's got relationship with his kids and ex-partner to try and work on and rebuild. He needs to get a job, to get some money. We have managed as a family to club together and get him a small motorbike so that he can register for work with an agency and then actually get to work, because he recognises, and I certainly do, that structure and routine is for him vital. If he's sitting at home alone, bored, you know, that's when temptation is probably at its worst. So I'm hopeful for his future too. I'm also scared, of course. I mean, you never know. Is this time going to be the one that he stays clean permanently, or is he going to relapse again? We don't know. I don't know. I can only hope. I've done everything I possibly can. I don't know what else I can do for him now, except still be there. But it's hard. It's really hard loving an addict and watching them kill themselves. I mean, really, that's what he was doing. It was like passive suicide. He was deathly thin when he came here. He looked like a different person. I mean, I wouldn't have recognised him if I'd have passed him in the street, and that's awful. And now, you know, he's put on 2 stones in weight, and it's just my old brother back again. Not just in terms of, not just in terms of the way he looks, but also his personality. We've been hanging out together, we've having some laughs, we've played on the PlayStation together, watched TV together, chatted together. It's been nice, and actually, I'm going to miss him when he's gone. It's been really, really lovely to get to know him all over again. I mean, I can't remember the last time, clean or not, that we spent this amount of time together. We've had 3 months, and it's been really nice. But I suppose, yeah, like I mentioned before, what I'm trying to say is it's never too late. It doesn't matter how far gone someone is, it's possible. And you can support them and you can love them and never give up. I knew everybody else had given up in their hearts on him, and I knew I couldn't. I knew if I was the last person, and I knew he'd given up on him as well, and I knew somebody had to be there for him and not give up and keep trying, because otherwise he would have been dead. He would have been dead by now. And I'm so glad that I was able to do that and stick at it. It's been really, really hard, but I don't regret a minute of it. I really don't, because I think he's going to have a great life ahead now if he just stays clean. And of course he's doing this website, and he's reaching out to other people, and they're reaching out to him, and he's already helped people, judging by some of the messages and emails he's received. You know, people have been inspired to go and do their detox in whatever way is right for them, from watching his videos and reading his writings. So I hope he's going to go on to do bigger and better things. So if you have an addict in your life, or if you are an addict and you're watching this, don't give up. It's never too late. No matter how far gone, just start again. Pick yourself up, keep going, and keep loving them. You know, don't enable them. I've done that. I've done a lot of that. But it's not good. Reward them when they're doing things right, not when they're doing things wrong. You know, and that's hard. That's really hard. But it is important. And it's important to look after yourself in all of this too. I know it does take its toll. It certainly did on me. So I guess that's it from me. I hope you enjoy the rest of his website and following his progress. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does with all of his life ahead of him now. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.